We did it. We're here. Hey, Misha.
Morning, Charlie. Morning, Berto. Morning, shares. Morning, sunshines. Hi, good morning from I'm watching the chat stream by. Boy, are there a lot of people here this morning. And when I say this morning and you're in Australia, you can just curse my name. Hi, everyone. So we are kicking off our week-long hunt right now. The list is live. Is that true, Charlie? Has the site crashed yet?
It's teetering. So yes, I'm just going to keep watching it, but you go ahead and explain the hunt and I'll just keep pushing buttons.
Okay, great. So we're now in, it depends on how you do your math. We at GISH like to do what's called fuzzy math. But this is our 11th big week-long, what do we call it now? It's not a mini hunt, it's a mega hunt, I guess. And this is the 10th year that we've been doing this. It started with a lark, with a little mini hunt with the rhino hunt with only 300 participants. It has grown quite a bit since then. And over the course of the last decade, we have managed to raise millions of dollars for various different charitable enterprises, and we have created some incredible art, and we have gummed up the works of various different capital offices and federal agencies. And it has been quite a joy, this ride that we've been on, and so excited to be doing it again. We're jumping into this. Last year, we really dialed back anything that would bring anyone out of doors because we were in the thick of the COVID pandemic. Now, as various different places are starting to open back up in various different degrees, there's a little bit more toggleability to how you relate to one another in public spaces or in your homes in this hunt. We really want to emphasize, though, wherever you are, follow your local guidelines and follow whatever safety protocols are appropriate for you and the people that you're around. If you're fully vaccinated and you're with other people who are fully vaccinated, that's a little bit different than if you're not vaccinated or if you're in a community where there's a Delta surge or something like that. So we have in our rules, our commandments, we have stipulated some more detail about the COVID situation. But in the list, not every item is going to say, make sure you're wearing a mask or you're socially distanced or all that. But we are providing the umbrella instructions to apply that safety protocol to every single item. Use common sense, and we have a goal of no one who is participating in GISH contracting COVID or spreading COVID during the next week. So let's try to stick with that. I also want to tell you not to break the law. Try to be as conscientious as you can about not wasting any food, or for example, most of the items that we have here that are food related or use food as a art supply, those things can be eaten when you're finished. And don't use glitter. Glitter is, well, actually there are glitters that you can use that are biodegradable, but glitter in general is turning out to be something that's killing a lot of fish in the oceans and creating a plastic toxic floating wasteland. So avoid a lot of glitter. What else? What else are we conveying to folks here? Charlie?
Yeah, yes, just make sure that you're trying to be as mindful of your surroundings and the people around you as possible. So take care of yourself, take care of the planet, try to do things that can be reused, and also try not to purchase stuff if you can. We're kind of anti-consumerism, unless it's the shirt that Misha's wearing that's going to be in the Gishporium later after the hunt. But we want to make sure that people are using what they have and taking, what they need, but not try to just be thoughtful. Like we've seen a lot of cool stuff with confetti that's been made out of hole punching leaves, for example, some really innovative stuff. And that will get you more points if you do stuff like that. That will get you some more love from the judging, from Harsh, etc.
And have fun. This can be, depending on the degree to which you and your team decide to throw yourselves into this, this can be an exhausting week, but take care of yourself, have fun, build community, and be kind. One thing we want to make sure is that anyone who is out there in the world gishing over the next week is spreading love and kindness and not being a wanker. So, that is an edict from on high as well. You can reach out to GISH teams, for anyone here who's new, GISH teams can become like families. You're going to be in the trenches for the next week. Don't ghost your team if you can help it. So if for some reason you need to pull back or dial back your participation, let your teammates know what's going on. Just send them a message. You contact your team on the GISH app or at gish.com, and start communicating and have fun with one another. The list is, we have the commandments should be followed. Don't interpret items to come up with an easy way to do them. Do them as they are intended. And don't ask the GISH team questions about the list because they're not going to answer them. We encourage you to figure it out yourself. The updates page, check it often because we are going to be, inevitably, we end up deleting items or adding items to the list. So you need to check the updates page to see what has changed and what news we are delivering from on high. We're going to be doing a bunch of Zooms this week. The first Zoom is with Jim Beaver that is at 2:00 Pacific time tomorrow. If you at least one member of each team should join each Zoom. You're welcome to have your entire team show up and say hi to Jim Beaver, but at least one person should be in each Zoom in order to garner the points for those. And it is actually going to be a very interesting week of Zooms, I think. We actually had a Zoom about a month ago with the Golden Triangle Asian Elephant Foundation. Fascinating people who actually take us out with a camera to see the elephants in their habitat, and are just so knowledgeable and passionate about the work that they're doing. And you can read these, and I don't have to run them all down for you, but it's going to be a fun week. Charlie, what else? What else should we convey before we release these hounds?
We've got, so we are, I don't know how much I can tell them about the change of life yet. We haven't said anything yet, but do you want to say anything about that?
I don't know. I think we should. I mean, we're doing a very meaningful, kind of heartbreaking, but I think very impactful project with Giles Dooley, who we've worked with many years in the past, and the Legacy of War Foundation. And I suppose we can tease that it involves children who have suffered greatly, and I think we're going to be able to have a pretty big impact there. We will be talking about that though with you shortly.
Yeah, Giles has said it's the most important story he's ever told, and that's coming from someone like Giles. That's a huge deal. We've also got a record breaker that we're going to be doing. We're going to be breaking some records. More on that soon too. We are nothing if not lofty in our goals, and so if we don't attempt something, if you're not attempting things and failing during this entire week, there's something, you're not trying hard enough, in our opinion. Failure is good here at GISH. So
very true.
Yeah. But the next Zoom is going to be tomorrow at 2 with Jim. There's going to be lots of fun at the Zooms, and we hope you come because we gain a lot out of them. And then there's an item that's attached at the end of the Zoom. So if you're competitive and you want to get those done, the best thing to do is be in the Zoom where it happens and find out the item right there. And then if you aren't able to attend those Zooms, you'll be getting invites in your inboxes the day before and then a reminder. But if you don't, there'll be a link to a video in the hunt list itself. So the hunt list is live, and we've managed. Nope, you're breaking it now. Okay, I should go fix this soon. But yeah, anything else you want to say, Misha, before people are already.
I love you all. Hi, Hope. Hello. I'm saying hello to some people in the chat here. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Alex. Hello. Good morning. Have a transcendent week. Celebrate the community that you have here. And I can't wait to see the things that you create.
All right. The list is now live, everybody. Good luck.
Good luck.
Take care. Let's do it. Whew.